If I had to ask you what you do first thing every morning, I would get actually the same response, and that is that you looked at your phone. If I'd asked you the same question 20, 30, 50 years ago, the answer would have been very different, and actually probably would have been unique to you all. Our lives are being disrupted 1 second at a time. Life today is influenced by science and by technology more than it ever has been in the past. And yet, the way that we react to change today is actually no different to the way we reacted when we were cavemen. Once change arrives, first we fear it, then we examine it, and slowly, slowly, we accept it. But what if we control this disruption? What if we harness it to our own use and our own timing? In tomorrow's world, this is much more likely to be the norm. Smart technologies will start to evolve on its own. In fact, it is evolving on its own. And it's resolving challenges that we as humanity have been plagued by since the beginning of time. But what is disruption? And how do you prepare for it? The Big Bang was the genesis of our origins, the moment when forces collide. Gases merged and our world as we know it today was formed. Let's just imagine that for a moment. Picture what change looked like, what it felt like, what it even sounded like. According to NASA and the theories of physics, if we were to look at the universe 1 second after the Big Bang, what we would see is 10 billion degrees C of neutrons, of protons, of electrons, of anti-electrons, of photons, of neutrons. And that's actually just science talk for you business people. It's just science talk for a lot of activity. What it means is that even a second after major forces have impacted our world, there were new organisms that had already adapted and were already hard at work conforming to what was then the new normal. Often, change doesn't announce itself. It actually comes very silently. If we want to understand disruption, we must first learn to respect that it is defined by very silent but impactful forces that are constantly shaping our world. We're currently undergoing one of the biggest transformations in the history of mankind. Every day, we create 2.5 quintillion bytes of data. Now, for perspective, in 1992, the world was creating 100 gigabytes of data every day. And some of you can actually create that in a year, personally. And by next year, the world will be producing 50,000 gigabytes per second. Every year, we create 8 million new songs, 2 million new books, 182 billion tweets, and 400,000 new products. Many are calling this the fourth industrial revolution, which is set to fundamentally shift the way that we work and the way that we play. Technologies such as self-driving cars, artificial intelligence, big data, the Internet of Things, 3D printing, biotech, and quantum computing are all leveraging this explosion in data to create the basis of a new way of living. There are people in Safaricom today who are using their phones to control the lighting in their homes and monitoring who is at the front door. And it will soon be available to you all. Industry researchers, IDC, project that by the year 2020, 220 billion connected devices will be in use. This is truly the age of the Internet of everything. And what it means is that opportunity is only a connection away. In today's world, in the time that it takes to create an app, whole new business models are being created, and whole new business models are being made redundant. We're now a limitless planet tied together by technology. Technology has democratized access to markets in ways which were never before imagined. Today, the world is a single marketplace. Today, we are one. With a simple internet connection, the honey trader in Kitui can trade with an Australian buyer, and vice versa. All signs are that we are heading towards the big bang moments of technology. The biggest challenge we have today is to ensure that we start to look at the spark, look for the spark, or the fire that will define our future. Now, given the remarkable shifts now taking place, the question then becomes, how do we succeed in this new world order? Because of the pace of evolution, the answer to this can change on an almost daily basis. We must manage disruption by harnessing these new technologies to our needs. It's worth noting that disruption doesn't always mean adopting the latest technology. Sometimes it means simply reusing existing technology for new purposes. And this is not a problem for tomorrow's leaders. It's an issue that we must address now. So how do we prepare for this coming wave of change? What we can do is to create the right type of individuals and businesses that can succeed in this era of change. We have to remember that what we do next and how we do it will define our evolution in ways that no technological disruption has done yet.